3,800 meters.
That's how far down it sits. In total darkness, in total silence, in water so cold, nothing rots. 13 years, the most famous shipwreck in history has been sitting on the floor of the North Atlantic, untouched, unsearched, holding secrets nobody has been able to reach. But here's what nobody tells you. The Titanic is dying. And when it's gone, everything still inside it disappears forever. In 1985, oceanographer Robert Ballard found the Titanic after decades of searching. The world held its breath. What he found was extraordinary. The ship was remarkably preserved, staircases intact, chandeliers hanging, bottles of wine still on shelves. Something else was happening. Something slow, something unstoppable. Called Halomonas titanicae is literally eating the ship. Estimate that by 2030, the Titanic's hull will collapse entirely. The decks will cave in. What exactly are we about to lose? When salvage teams first began recovering objects from the debris field, they found a safe. And in 1987, they opened it on live television, watched by millions. Inside, waterlogged bills, a few coins, some jewelry, and a leather satchel. The debris field, the objects that fell out when the ship split. Inside the wreck itself, sealed in the purser's office, locked in first-class staterooms, sitting in the cargo hold, are safes that have never been opened, that nobody has ever reached, containing whatever their owners locked away on the night of April 14th, 1912. First-class passengers on the Titanic were among the wealthiest people on Earth. Industrialists, bankers, socialites. John Jacob Astor IV, worth $87 million in today's money. Isidor Straus, co-owner of Macy's. Benjamin Guggenheim. What did they lock away before the ship went down? Cash, jewels, documents, deeds, letters they never wanted found. We don't know, because nobody has ever opened those safes. What did they lock away before the ship went down? Cash, jewels, documents, deeds, letters they never wanted found. We don't know, because nobody has ever opened those safes. What did they lock away before the ship went down? Cash, jewels, documents, deeds, letters they never wanted found. We don't know, because nobody has ever opened those safes. In the Titanic's cargo hold, there is a car. A 1912 Renault Type CE town car, purchased in Paris, being shipped to America by its owner, William Carter, a wealthy Philadelphia socialite. William Carter survived the sinking. His car did not. For 113 years, that car has been sitting in the cargo hold of the Titanic. In the dark, in the cold, perfectly preserved by the near-freezing water that has kept everything sealed inside almost exactly as it was left. The Titanic was carrying mail. 3,364 bags of it. Letters and parcels sent from Europe to America, from people to their families, from businesses to their clients. Love letters, legal documents, last goodbyes that were never meant to be. The 5 postal workers on board, American and British, spent the final hours of the Titanic's life trying to drag mail bags up from the flooding sorting room to save the letters in their care. All 5 drowned. None of the mail was saved. Somewhere in the collapsed mailroom, or scattered across the debris field, are 3,000 364 bags of letters that were never delivered. Words written by people who had no idea they were writing their last. Wallace Hartley was the Titanic's bandmaster. He led the 8-piece band that played as the ship went down. There is a well-known story, disputed by some, believed by many, that Hartley's band played "Nearer, My God, to Thee" as the Titanic sank beneath the North Atlantic. That they kept playing until the water took them. Wallace Hartley's body was recovered, still wearing his bandmaster's uniform. Strapped to his chest, his violin case. Inside it was a violin. Inscribed, "For Wallace, on the occasion of our engagement, Marie," believed to be a Stradivarius. That violin sold at auction in 2013 for £900,000. But Hartley had a second violin, the one he played that night, the one that went down with him before his body floated free. It is still down there, somewhere in the darkness, resting on the same ocean floor where he played his final song. Here is something most people don't know about how the Titanic sank. It didn't go down in one piece. The bow, the front half of the ship, lies here. The stern, the back half, lies there. 1 mile away. 1 mile. That's not a small distance. These are two halves of the same ship. How did they end up a mile apart? When the Titanic broke apart on the surface, the stern, still filled with trapped air, twisted violently as it sank. It spiraled downward. The currents at that depth pushed it further. It hit the ocean floor at an angle. The impact was so violent, it crumpled the stern almost beyond recognition. Look at the difference. The bow, still shaped like a ship, haunting in its perfection. The stern, unrecognizable, destroyed on impact. And in the mile between them, a debris field. 16,000 objects. Shoes, plates, toys, bottles, a child's marble. A pair of gloves still holding the shape of hands. The largest underwater archaeological site in history, and it is dissolving, piece by piece, year by year. We know the Titanic story. We've seen the movies, read the books. We think we know everything. But 3,800 meters below the surface, there are unopened safes. There are undelivered letters. There is a car that never arrived. There is a violin that played its last note into the freezing dark. The Titanic doesn't belong to history. It belongs to the ocean. And the ocean has decided it's almost done sharing. A watery grave, a tale eternally etched.